Hey friend, welcome back. Let's take a look at James chapter 2, verses 12 through 13 as we continue our little talk on favoritism. Speak and act as those who are to be judged by the law of freedom. For judgment is without mercy to the one who has not shown mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. When we look at others, we have two choices: judgment or mercy. Maybe we'll try to bring it into focus with one quick illustration. You're driving on the interstate, you get off of the off-ramp, and right at the corner of the stoplight off of the intersection, there is a person with a sign that says, "Homeless, anything helps." What's your first thought? I'll be honest, most of the time, my first thought is judgment. Well, if they would have just acted right, if they would have just done what they're supposed to do, get a job, maybe, stay with a friend, you can always find work to do. What are you doing? And that judgment is, I think, antithetical to the cross of Christ. And mercy is what we're called to. So what is mercy? Mercy is relenting. You could choose judgment, but when you have earned the right to judge someone for an action and choose instead to relent, that is mercy. Could you judge that person? Maybe. Sure. You could say they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Society only works if we're all working hard to contribute together. And if you're leeching off of other people, then, well, you're just not fulfilling your social contract. In that moment, though, what's a more powerful statement of what Jesus has done for us? To lord it over that person, or to, in the face of when we could judge, relent and choose mercy? The answer is really, really clear. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Mercy triumphs over judgment. That was the case when Jesus went to the cross. That was the case when God looked down on our sin and said, "You know what? I'm going to relent because of what Christ has done." That was a way that God's mercy overflowed upon us. And I want to take a minute to focus it back into how we can operate as a church family, a church plant together. When you look at other Christians or other Christian ministries, it seems like a race nowadays where you want to be the first person to find a flaw in someone's theology or in someone's actions and to call them a heretic. I see video after video with millions of views that is seeking to do the good, discerning work and ensure that we call out the heresy that we see in such and such a ministry or such and such a video or such and such a person. And you could, but when you are going to judge like that, remember that you are going to be judged very harshly. Remember the Sermon on the Mount, the cross over here. This is Matthew 7 to a T. Read through that. It's not saying never make a judgment, but it is saying, remember that when you use judgment and say, "I am going to judge this," then you are going to be subject to judgment. So you better have a passing grade in that department. And let me tell you this, no matter how hard someone has studied or how, well prayed up they are, all of us are going to get God wrong somehow, some way. Theological stuff, there's going to be stuff I'm wrong on in heaven, and there's going to be stuff that maybe I was right on in heaven, and there's going to be stuff that the church down the road was right on and stuff that they were wrong on. But none of us is going to 100% pass the test. What I would instead say is when we look at our fellow believers, or sister churches, if we could use judgment and choose instead to have mercy upon that person. And mercy might be saying, you know what? I think they love the Lord and want to pursue them. I may not partner with them. I may not, come up and go to a Bible study at their church. I may not even associate with them much. But you know what I may have is I may relent from publicly at least executing any sort of judgment. So I hope that you guys will today speak and act as those who are to be judged by the law of freedom. Remember, this law of freedom is that Jesus has already paid the debt, the guilt is wiped away, and you get to operate from freedom. And our job when we have freedom is to give that freedom to others. That is the gospel of the kingdom. The mechanics of it are the substitutionary atonement and all these things that happen. But the truth, the essence of a real world faith is that you have been set free. And you have been set free to go set others free. And you're not going to set others free by holding your nose up and casting judgment upon them. What you are going to do, the way you can bring freedom to them, is to look and say, when you want to have a judgmental thought or a judgmental idea or a judgmental action, say, you know what? I'm going to choose mercy in this situation because I know that mercy has been given to me. So I hope today you will speak and act as one who is judged by the law of freedom. All right? I love y'all. Have a great day.